Today I started showing you some challenging problems in math that are really actually kind of fun. They're like mini puzzles. And this particular type, I like to call it the spider web. You guys actually had mentioned a roller coaster and then changed your mind and said maybe a Ferris wheel is what it looks like. Miss Jessica thought it looked like the planets. So it's kind of a neat way to describe what it looks like. But it's actually a fairly simple problem once you understand what you're supposed to be doing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the numbers that are written around this, and we're going to examine the relationship of those numbers in straight lines across. It's very simple and a good way to practice these if you have trouble, to assign each line, straight line across, a color. This would be the red line. This would be the blue line. And this can be the green line. The object of this type of problem is to make each line equal the same amount if you add the numbers together. For example, if you add 3 plus 6 plus 2, it should equal the same as 4 plus 6 plus 1. And let's do that right now by looking at this. If we add 3 plus 6, we get 9. Take that 9 and add it to 2, and we're going to get the answer 11. So the line that is blue all the way across has a sum of 11. Now we're going to look at the line across that has the 4, the 6, and the 1. This is the red line. And we're going to add these numbers across. 4 plus 6 equals 10. If you add that 10 to one more, you're also going to get a sum of 11. So you can see how if you follow the line straight across, your numbers should equal to the same sum. In this particular problem, the sum is 11. So the object is to figure out what is the missing number. What number in the green line would add to 6 and 0 and get 11. It's fairly simple if you look at this. What is 0 plus 6 going to be, guys?
6.
So 6 plus something else is going to equal 11. What do we need to add to 6 to get to 11? Does anybody know?
5.
It is 5. Very good. This is another problem with the same concept as what we just looked at. The only difference in this problem is that you have additional missing numbers. They're not just one number that's missing. You have two numbers that you need to determine what they are. The first thing that I always recommend is if you have trouble, assign each line a color. You could do this with crayons if you're at home. You could do it with pens. You'll get to where you know exactly what you're doing and you won't need to assign a color. But until you get very comfortable with following the line, it's a good idea to use the color. The first thing that you need to do once your colors are assigned is to find which line has all three numbers. One of the lines has to have all three numbers for you to be able to add it. And in this problem, if you look closely, you'll notice that the red line, all three numbers in the red line are filled in. So this is where we're going to start, because the first thing we need to understand is what the sum of each line has to be. And since we have all three numbers here, we can add it together to get the sum. 7 plus 4 equals 11. 11 plus 1 is going to equal 12. So every line must have the sum of 12. And I will sometimes write it outside that last number so I can remember what I'm trying to get to. Then I will choose one of the next lines to do. I might choose blue just because it happens to be the next one if I was going clockwise. And I'll start by adding 2 and 4. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 6 plus something equals 12. What do I need to add to 6 to get 12? Tell me.
6.
It's a doubles fact. I was wondering if you didn't know. So 6 is going to be the answer. And now this whole blue line, the sum, is 12. That has one line, that leaves me with one line left, and that's going to be the green line. 4 plus 4 equals 8. It's a doubles factor. Hopefully you'll know that. What plus 8 is going to equal 12?
3.
Oh, somebody says 3. Well, let's just try it. If we know that 4 plus 4 equals 8, and someone thinks 3, let's count on, because we can count on if we add a 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. Is 3 enough?
No, 4.
We need to get a sum of 12. And because we need that sum of 12, 3 is not going to be enough. We're going to need one more. That means our answer must be 4. Now that we've added all the numbers in around the sides, the middle number is already there, we have a sum of 12 in each direction. This is the last one we're going to look at, and the reason that I'm doing one additional example is so that you can just look at what I like to call the cheat, or is the easiest way to do these problems. And it's kind of a little trick that will help you. When you have the straight lines that have to add up to an equal, you'll notice that the middle number is going to be the same for each line. I used a question mark here just to show you that it does not matter what this number is. We could actually say this is the cup. Because if I add 4 plus the cup plus 3, 2 plus the cup plus something, and 1 plus the cup plus something, this cup is the same for everyone. If it's a 3, everybody's going to be adding a 3. If it's a 4, everyone is going to add a 4. This number is going to be the same in all directions on this line. So if you will take the time to actually add the outside lines, and I use my red because this is the red line, 4 and 3 equal
7.
you're going to find that in each direction, your two outside bubbles are going to have to equal the same as well. If the two outside bubbles in red equal 7, the two outside bubbles in blue must equal 7. We see these two equal 7. These two have to equal 7. It does not matter what's in the middle. 1 plus what is going to equal 7?
6.
6. Same thing for the green line. Your two outside bubbles are going to have to equal the same amount as the ones that were given to you. We know it's going to have to equal 7. What plus 2 equals 7? Anybody know?
7.
Nope. 7 plus 2 will not equal 7. That's too much.
5.
It is going to be 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 6 plus 1 is 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. And so these outside bubbles, when they're added to the outside bubble of the same color, they're all going to have the same sum. And the reason that that is important is because no matter what number we have in the middle, is not wanting to let me erase that question mark, so I'm just going to change it to make this number an 8. All of these outside bubbles are going to be added to 8. So 3 and 4, which equaled 7, plus 8 equals 15. 2 and 5, which equaled 7, plus 8 is going to equal 15. 1 plus 6, which equaled 7, plus 8 is going to equal 15. So it does not even really matter what that middle number is. As long as your outside bubbles all add up to the same number, you're going to be adding that same sum to this middle bubble. That is just a quick trick way. Otherwise, you can add straight across if that's the way that's easiest for you.